Hey, it's me before I have a baby in my arms. Bump date. I am postpartum Amarah from the future, or present, I guess. I'm almost 39 weeks today, and I'll be filming the first half of a video that I saw on YouTube recently talking about where I'm at before and after really becoming a parent. My husband is taking our little one for a walk right now, which is excellent because it gives me a little bit of free time, and I'm like, man, what do I do with free time? Oh yeah, I can make a YouTube video. So this is exactly 1 month postpartum. We welcomed our little boy on July 31st, and it is currently, while I'm filming this, August 31st, so 1 month exactly. I am really good. Pregnancy isn't easy, but it's also so beautifully transformative. My mind has just been growing so much and preparing and becoming a mom. And I think it's such a beautiful process. And I can finally say that I'm ready for my life to change forever. And life is awesome. So I am doing really well. How am I? I'm good. I am. I definitely was very nervous about how I would be at this point. The first months are so all-encompassing with a newborn, and I was just not sure how I was going to make that adjustment. But it seems I kind of naturally have embraced that role, and so far I do love it. It's hard, but I love it. So I'm doing all right. I'm still healing. I definitely didn't have it easy for birth or for healing, which I will definitely be making a video about soon, about my birth experience. Overall, I'm doing well. A little bit sleep deprived. I got about 4.5 hours last night, broken up. My husband's first day back to work was today, and that was a lot of hours by myself for the first time with a little one, and it actually went really well. Life is awesome. My husband has the summers off, so he's already been home for over a month and a half now, and we've had a lot of quality time together. I just recently stopped working now. I really enjoy his company, and so being around him a lot, being around friends and family a lot. A lot of people have been super helpful and generous for us as we prepare for our baby. I have a lot of free time. I do. And that's one thing I think I'm going to miss a lot, is the ability to just up and do whatever I want all the time, you know? So I'm trying to take full advantage of that now before it's gone. What is life like and free time? There's not much free time right now. The baby takes his naps on me, contact naps throughout the day, and so I'm unable to really do a lot and have free time for myself. It's more of a, I get done what's needed. I try to eat and drink enough, and I take care of him. And I'm sure that will adjust with time, but as for right now, yeah, it's kind of the way it is, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm soaking it in, but free time's pretty rare. I didn't even know what to do with myself when my husband left today. I was like, I could probably make a YouTube video, but it took me like 20 minutes to even think of that. Our marriage is incredible. There's so much good communication. There's just a lot of care and love there, and he's been so supportive through pregnancy. And yeah, like I said, I just love to be around him. I mean, I never thought, as the introvert that I am, that I would thoroughly enjoy having so many hours with one person. But he's that person. So it's been so nice to have a lot of time here before baby comes to really just bond deeper together before that change happens. How is Marshall and how is our marriage? My husband is doing well. He is an absolutely incredible father, very involved, very capable. He loves his son, and he's so, so good with him. He is excited to get back to work and have a routine again because he thrives on routine. And so I'm excited for him as well. Our marriage is doing well. We've been communicating and making sure that we're meeting each other's needs throughout this time, mostly emotional needs, really, and communicating. And I feel like we've done pretty well. It's definitely a difficult time for anyone to have a newborn, but we work together and we give each other breaks, and it's really been amazing. Just another example for me of my husband and how incredible and loving he is, and yeah, we're doing well. Pregnancy has been a complete journey. Uh, Over half of my pregnancy was very miserable and very difficult. I was quite sick. I was losing weight. I was throwing up. I was having every symptom in the book. It wasn't to a level of life endangerment, thankfully. It was just really, really, really hard for a long time. I could barely lift a finger at home for a long time. Marshall had to do everything, even on top of working overtime. And the only thing I could really maintain was my job. And that was it. And even that was very challenging. But then once things started to fade, the symptoms and things started to lessen, I was able to finally start enjoying pregnancy. And it's just become so beautiful. Even looking back on the hardest moments, I can see how they're being used all together for my good. Because that's what God does. He makes all things work together for our good. Now, later in pregnancy, I'm starting to feel the physical aches and pains every day, every night. But still, nothing really can compare to that first half where I really don't feel like I have anything to complain about because I feel so much better than I did then. And I'm so close to meeting my little one. So it's becoming very exciting. What has postpartum been like? It's really hard to explain. It's so different from before. First of all, I had a lot of healing. I was so sore after birth for a long, long time. I got some infection. I'm still bleeding, still healing, and I'm at the point now where I'm able to move around and walk and do things, but not for long, especially not when carrying the baby before I start to hurt. But it's getting better, and I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel there, for sure. I just remember the first week or two, especially, feeling like I'm in the twilight zone. I don't think I walked out of the house for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And we didn't have visitors for the first week, just midwives. And I had just had such an experience with birth that I just felt forever changed. And I felt weird, very weird. It's not bad or good, it's just weird. In a time where you're the most sensitive from all that you went through, healing and needing help, but also at the same time, most needed by this new infant that you've brought into the world. It's such a weird time. I'm starting to feel more myself after having a few outings over the last couple weeks. Our first outing was right at 3 weeks postpartum, and I made it 2 hours. Our boy is amazing. I love him. And he's been getting better these last few days, overall being less fussy and more sweet and more alert when he's awake, and just a doll. Fun to have, fun to be around. The hardest adjustment of pregnancy has been realizing that my body is not all my own in a way. Right now, it is the house for my child, so every decision I make affects him. It's been a very humbling and vulnerable experience to be often sick and having symptoms that kind of force me to rely more on God than my nature often does. I can tend to feel very self-sufficient, but pregnancy has truly kept me on my knees and humble before the Lord. And I think that pregnancy is meant to prepare me. It's the beginning of a life of selfless love toward these little humans who can't really give anything back, at least not right away. It's a beautiful thing. So I think that pregnancy has been designed to help us make that mental shift so that it's not so sudden the second the baby's born. What is the hardest adjustment of parenthood? Well, so far, he's just 24/7 my focus. He does contact naps during the day, like I said, so I'm wearing him or I'm near him for his naps typically. He won't nap alone for more than 30 minutes typically. And so just adjusting to him needing me in that way so much. My back hurts a lot. Breastfeeding frequently every usually 1 to 2.5 hours throughout the day. It's just different to need to be so focused and attentive to this little person's needs and having so much less time to just waste. Just learning so much about newborns and about our newborn specifically and what he likes and what he doesn't and how to keep him healthy and happy and content. One of my favorite parts of pregnancy has been the fact that I've been in just a posture of surrender all the time, a vulnerability that requires me to stay at the feet of Jesus. I can't do it without him. There's growth to be had in pregnancy that can't be had at any other time in life. That is so unique and special, and I'm just trying to make the most of that. It has been so peaceful and beautiful, and I'm aware that this is my only pregnancy where I won't already have a child, so I've really been soaking it in and intentionally enjoying these last months, these last weeks and days, because, yeah, everything's about to change. What is my favorite part of parenthood? I have so many moments where I just look at him and I'm just like, oh, he is so cute. So cute. I just can't get over him. Especially when he's like, if he's sleeping in my arms. Sometimes he smiles in his sleep a little bit. Or when he's just staring at me, he'll just stare into my eyes. Just those kind of moments. And then also seeing my husband as a father to him and interacting with him and doing things. Oh, it's so special. I just feel all warm and aglow when I see him taking such good care of our son and just those different special moments. So I'd say that's definitely the best right now. I'm doing my best to appreciate and soak in how unique this season is and how brief it is, even though it's really hard. What am I nervous about? If I had to be transferred to the hospital for an emergency or even a non-emergency reason, that's something I'm nervous about. Breastfeeding, it's a whole learning curve that you can't really learn until you do it. I'm a little nervous about some of the adjustments that will need to be made when I become a parent and how my life is going to revolve around another human all the time, even more so than it ever did in marriage. I mean, I communicate all the time with my husband, but now this child is going to, for some time, kind of dictate my life until he's old enough to develop, his own coping mechanisms and things, but it's going to be a completely new thing. Was I right to be nervous about the few topics of hospital transfer, breastfeeding, adjustment to my new life? Sure, I was right to be nervous. I guess I was right to be expecting that all to be challenging. But it's gone better than maybe it could have, so I will get more into my birth story in a separate video, but hospital transfer is something that I had to face, and it ended up being exactly what was needed, and the staff were amazing, so I didn't really need to fear that. But because I talked through it and prepared for it as a possibility, it wasn't so scary when it was happening. And I definitely recommend, if you have any fears about birth, to address them beforehand, because it takes away a lot of the anxious thoughts. Breastfeeding, yeah, I was right to be nervous about that. It's very difficult for some people, and for me, I was one of them. I'm still on a nipple shield, which kind of helps your baby latch and helps protect your nipple from damage. And breastfeeding was and still is sometimes very painful for me. So it's definitely really challenging. As for the adjustment, I mean, nervous, sure. I mean, I just knew that it would be challenging, and I was right. But overall, the adjustment has been so smooth. Me and my husband are both natural parents. Like, it works. And we have lots of resources, people helping us out along the way, and my midwife visiting and giving me needed recommendations at needed points of time. It really has been a pretty smooth transition, in my opinion. I think the biggest change to becoming a parent will be figuring out a new balance altogether. Everyone always says, don't forget your relationship with your partner, and don't forget your individuality as a mom. I still don't want to lose who I am. There's certain hobbies and interests I have that I want to maintain, and I want to model to my kids that as a parent you can still have your individuality, but also I want to change toward becoming an excellent parent. I don't want to go into it thinking, oh yeah, nothing's going to change and I'm still going to be able to do everything, because I know that's not true. I want to transition and become a mom, and it's just going to be a learning curve as I reevaluate and figure out how to keep a balance in life. What is the biggest change to becoming a parent? Just, again, free time. It's kind of similar to what's the hardest adjustment. Finding a new balance and prioritizing the relationship, prioritizing myself. Today I took a shower as soon as my husband got home from work. He took the baby so I could shower, and that was my self-care for the day. Yeah, I just think that overall I'm completely changed forever. The experience that I went through for birth has forever changed me, and now having this little human that we made, that we love so much here, living with us, I mean, our life is forever changed for that, obviously. It's amazing. There's no words to describe the transition that happens, and just like I said, the twilight zone of those first couple weeks, especially, where it just feels so unreal almost. I'm very glad to be feeling a little more myself. Parenthood is an honor and a blessing, and it's really been improving my patience and just other fruits of the spirit that need some growth. I mean, parenthood refines you. Past self, you done good. You done good. And future me, you got this. You do. A message or advice for my future self would kind of go along that vein of, don't lose yourself. Don't lose the love for your partner and the appreciation for your partner. But also, be a mom. It's an honor and a privilege. And it is so beautiful. You are so strong. You are dynamic. You are beautiful. You're amazing. And your life is expanding in a way that you never thought was even possible. The love in your heart is expanding in a way you never thought was ever possible. So embrace it and realize gratitude for that as well. More specific to me, I guess, keep making music. Make time for it. Keep on with the rabbits, the hobby that you love so much. I'm sure you're so excited to be starting back up into that again. Just dive into motherhood, dive into this change, embrace it. You are adaptable and you are expansive and growing, and you can be all of the things. You can be yourself, you can be a wife, you can be a mother, you can be a friend, a family member. You can do it all. Just find the balance. Advice for those who are expecting soon. I think that I did a really good job of preparing my mind, my heart, my body for the changes that are going to happen, that were going to happen to becoming a parent. And I really recommend that you do that too. Go on lots of dates with your partner, talk about a lot of things, prepare, and just enjoy yourself. My husband was off for he's off for the summer, so we had a lot of time together before our baby came, and it was so nice. I really felt ready and prepared for that change. I felt like I really just poured into my relationship and just had a lot of really fun experiences and all these different things before. So I don't feel like I've lost anything at this point. And that's kind of what I would recommend. Just do you and do things that are fun and really pour into your relationship and make sure it's solid. It'll be so interesting watching this back. I just feel like I'm gonna go through a complete shift, and I may completely forget this season in life, but I just don't want to because it's such a beautiful season. So hopefully this can preserve a little bit of that and be something to look back on and enjoy. Well, thank you for watching this video, and if you are an expecting parent, I wish you the best. It's going to be amazing and beautiful and unlike anything you've ever gone through in your life.